Three drinks, three labels, three totally different gut health stories. But under the microscope, I'm not telling you which one is which. One sample was packed with floating biological material, one looked shockingly clean, and one left behind a strange residue pattern I did not expect. At the end, I'll reveal which sample was kombucha, which one was Poppi, and which one was Olipop. Lock in your guess. Sample A. Our first sample is now under the scope. At 40 times magnification, the first thing I notice is how clean this sample appears compared to what many people might expect from a gut health drink. The liquid is relatively uniform. There aren't many large particles drifting through the field of view, and there isn't much obvious sediment settling across the slide. If you were expecting to see a busy microscopic landscape, sample A starts off surprisingly quiet. Let's move a little closer. So at 100 times magnification, we can see what appears to be a fiber-like fragment surrounded by air bubbles. It's likely a piece of plant-based ingredient residue that remained suspended in the drink, giving us our first look at the physical structures hidden inside sample A. That's pretty cool. At 100 times magnification, we're able to examine the sample in much greater detail. Small particles begin to appear, but they're sparse and widely distributed. Most of what we're seeing is a fairly consistent liquid environment with only occasional suspended material. There are no large clusters, no obvious biological looking structures, and very little that immediately stands out. Compared to our fermented beverage, this sample feels remarkably controlled. But appearances can be deceiving, you guys. So let's push the magnification up even further. At 400 times magnification, individual particles become easier to observe. Tiny fragments are visible throughout the sample, but they remain relatively isolated from one another. So at this magnification, we found a large fiber-like structure suspended in the sample, just like before. The large circles are trapped gas bubbles, while the central strand appears to be plant-based residue that didn't completely dissolve into the drink. Okay, sample B, starting out at 40 times and moving this into 100 times, we can observe a significant particulate matter. Unlike a standard mass-marketed soda, which often appears as a clear, homogeneous solution, this sample contains a high volume of suspended solids. This confirms the presence of complex, undissolved materials dispersed throughout the medium. As we dial up to 400 times, those components become distinct. You can see semi-translucent structures floating throughout the frame. These are not merely dissolved sweeteners. They are physical, plant-derived materials that have been processed and suspended in the solution. The texture here is dense, illustrating how these ingredients are engineered to maintain a specific mouthfeel. So pushing into 1,000 times, we enter a granular view of the sample's internal environment. It's pretty cool. We see a high density of microscopic particles, the raw material breakdown of the beverage. This crowded field of matter highlights the difference between a traditional syrup-based drink and this type of product, which relies on a suspension of prebiotic fibers and additives. What we have observed is a highly heterogeneous liquid packed with structural material. It is clear that this is not a simple solution, but a complex multi-component suspension. Let's move to sample C. Here we go. So here's sample C, and to make a microscopic structures easier to see, I've added a small amount of methylene blue. This stain increases contrast and helps highlight organic material that might otherwise blend into the background. So even at 40 times magnification, sample C immediately stands out. Large stained structures are visible throughout the field of view, along with countless smaller particles suspended in liquid. Compared to the previous samples, there is simply more material present here. As we move to the 100 times magnification, the complexity becomes even more apparent. The stain reveals layers of suspended material, irregular fragments, and dense clusters of tiny particles distributed throughout the sample. So whatever sample C turns out to be, it clearly contains the greatest amount of visible material we've observed so far. The microscopic landscape is dense, highly varied, and dramatically different from the cleaner, more uniform samples we've examined earlier in the audit. So let's move this up to 400 times. So at 400 times, the methylene blue stain helps increase contrast, allowing the suspended materials to stand out against the background. Large dark structures are visible throughout the slide, along with countless smaller particles distributed across the field of view. You'll see that several round cell-like structures can be seen near the larger fragments, while clusters of organic material appear concentrated in certain areas of the sample. What's most striking is the density. Compared to the previous samples, there's simply far more visible material suspended within this liquid. Instead of a clear, uniform environment, we're looking at a crowded microscopic landscape filled with fibers, fragments, and particulate matter. While a microscope can't tell us exactly what every structure is, it can reveal just how physically complex this sample really is. And so far, sample C is easily the busiest slide we've examined. Let's look at the 1,000 times. Okay guys, at this scale, numerous oval-shaped structures become visible throughout the field of view. These are consistent with yeast-like cells commonly found in fermented products. That's a big giveaway right there of what this is. Surrounding them are larger translucent fragments and irregular sheets of material suspended within the liquid. It's crazy, this whole field of view. Notice how the crowded, this whole sample appears. Rather than a clear uniform solution, we're looking at a complex mixture of microscopic particles, organic debris, and larger structural fragments. The dark blue regions represent areas where the stain has concentrated, while the lighter structures reveal the diverse material suspended throughout the sample. While a microscope alone can't identify every individual structure with certainty, one thing is clear. Sample C contains far more visible biological materials than anything we've observed so far. So at 1,000 times magnification, this is by far the most complex and active-looking sample in the entire comparison. So can you guess which one this is? So let's go check out the comparison of all three, and then we'll go to the whiteboard and determine what is what. So at first glance, all three samples belong to the same category of drink, but under the microscope, they tell very different stories. So on the far left, sample A appears to be the cleanest of the three. Aside from a few isolated structures and trapped gas bubbles, there is relatively little material visible throughout the field of view. The sample looks sparse and highly uniform. So sample B in the middle introduces a noticeable increase in complexity. Small particles, fragments, and clusters of material are distributed across the slide, creating a much more busier microscopic landscape. There's clearly more suspended material present than we observed in sample A. On the far right, sample C. This sample stands apart immediately. Large stain structures, dense clusters of particles, and a wide variety of organic-looking material dominate the field of view. Compared to the other two samples, it contains dramatically more visible material under magnification. So what's fascinating is that all three drinks are marketed within the same general gut, yet their microscopic appearance couldn't be more different. One looks relatively clean, one occupies the middle ground, and one appears packed with suspended material. So the question is, which drink is which? So let's go to the whiteboard. All right, it's time for the reveal. You guys finally made it. Sample A was Poppi. This was the cleanest sample in the entire test. We found a few interesting structures and some plant-based material, but overall, it showed the least amount of visible material under the microscope. Sample B was Olipop. 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 Olipop landed right in the middle. It contained more particles and residue than sample A, but it never reached the complexity we observed in our final sample, which means sample C was kombucha. And honestly, this wasn't even close. At 40 times, 100 times, 400 times, and especially at 1,000 magnification, kombucha consistently showed the most visible material, the most complex structures, and the most active-looking microscopic environment of the entire comparison. Now, does that automatically make kombucha the healthiest option? No, a microscope can't tell us that. But if I'm spending hard-earned money on a drink that's marketed around fermentation, cultures, and biological activity, kombucha was the only sample that visually matched the story from start to finish. Based on what we saw today, Poppi was the cleanest. Olipop was the middle ground, and kombucha delivered the most impressive microscope evidence. But that's just what I observed, you guys. Let me know in the comments if you guessed all three correctly before the reveal. And if you enjoy watching everyday foods and drinks get put through a microscope audit, make sure you subscribe and join the lab. Oh, check out this video that will tell you all about if you're spending way too much money on your favorite potato chip. Take care of yourself and be kind to others.